Hi guys, welcome back to the Value of the Phoenix YouTube channel. For those of you that don't know, my name is Patrice and I make all of the wonderful affirmations that you guys listen to. So this is episode 2 of my Q&A series that I have decided to start and I'm thoroughly enjoying. So please make sure that if you have any questions, you drop them in the comment section below and I will be sure to answer them in the next video. Okay, so let's get started then. So the first question is, I kind of feel more anxious and exhausted since I know of manifestation. How come? Thank you for your answers. Thank you for your question. So I definitely did feel like this as well when I first began on my conscious manifesting journey. And I feel like it's probably just the fact that you actually realize that a lot of the things that have happened in your adult life are to do with how you viewed yourself, the limiting beliefs that you had, and also the assumptions that you had about others as well as yourself. So the fact that you are now so much more aware of the fact that you are creating your reality, it can definitely, make you feel a bit more anxious. It can also make you feel as though every single decision that you're making is obviously going to have an effect on your future. Now, I am here to tell you that that is actually not the case. And the reason for that is because it is all to do with your dominant thoughts, your dominant subconscious thoughts that you have in your mind. So if, for example, you have a fleeting thought about something bad or a fleeting thought about something good, that is not necessarily going to manifest into your reality because it is not necessarily your dominant thought. So in terms of finding a way to kind of deal with the anxiety and exhaustion of manifesting, the best thing that you can do is to understand that you are powerful in a good way, not in a bad way, and that you can, change yourself in order to change your reality. So anything that is going on right now, you just have to decide, okay, this is no longer what I want to see in my reality. Therefore, I am going to put in the work, put in the effort to improve myself. And you need to understand that when it comes to improving yourself, you also need to show yourself compassion. You also need to show yourself grace. And the reason for that is because there are going to be some days where you do extremely well and you're so focused on, this new version of you. And then you are going to have days where you have a few more negative thoughts, or you're not necessarily wanting to do certain things that will benefit you, but you just can't be bothered, or you're tired, you're feeling anxious, all of that stuff. By showing yourself compassion and showing yourself grace, and also just reminding yourself you are human. You are human, you are allowed to make mistakes. However, the difference between making one mistake and the difference between making that same mistake over and over again is the fact that when you continuously make the same mistake over and over again, you're basically punishing yourself, and I don't want you to do that. So I would say the best way to deal with the anxiety, the best way to deal with the exhaustion of it, is to understand that you are human, understand that you are going to make mistakes, because no one is perfect. Everybody makes mistakes, and to just show yourself that grace. Any and everybody in the world is going through the exact same journey as you. It might not be exact in terms of the situations, but in terms of, having to deal with life, having to figure things out for themselves, everyone is going through that. So as soon as you realize that you're not alone in this situation, I hope that that is what it will take to make you just realize, like, okay, cool, I can kind of like relax a little bit with this. Another thing that I would say as well is that when it comes to conscious manifesting, a lot of people are so focused on, I need to control my thoughts, I need to control my thoughts, I need to control my thoughts. And whilst, yes, you do need to control your thoughts, you also need to make sure that you are doing things that make you happy, because ultimately, when it comes to manifestation, it is all about getting into the state of the wish fulfilled, as Neville Goddard said. And to get into that state, you can use your thoughts, you can use action. So what are you doing in your day-to-day life that is helping you to become the person that you want to become? Are your thoughts and are your actions aligned? So I would definitely say to focus a lot more on doing things that make you happy and doing things that bring you joy, because that is essentially how you learn to love yourself, you learn to trust yourself again, you learn to trust your decision making, your judgment, everything. And that in turn leads you to improve your self-concept, which will then lead you to, you know, your manifestation, your desire, everything that you are wanting out of life. So the long and short of it is you need to just continue to focus on yourself, but also give yourself compassion and grace and understand that you are a human being. Okay, so question number 2. If everyone is you pushed out, when someone is disrespecting you, does that mean that you are disrespecting yourself? I really love this question because I think sometimes people get a little bit confused when it comes to the idea that everyone is you pushed out. Now, essentially what that means is that all of the dominant assumptions that you have about people, that's what will be pushed out into the world. So your dominant assumptions about yourself and your dominant assumptions about other people and the world. I think that is the part that sometimes people forget. They just assume that it's just the assumptions about yourself. No, it's your assumptions about other people as well. So for example, if you think that, I don't know, all people that have tattoos or all people that have like loads of like tattoos on their body, for example, are like bad people, then even if someone came into your reality and had all of the tattoos and was actually a good person, you would be searching for an answer in them to prove to you that they are a bad person. I really hope that that makes sense. But basically, when it comes to everyone is you pushed out, it's to do with your dominant assumptions about not only yourself, but other people and the world. Okay, so to answer your question, if everyone is you pushed out, when someone is disrespecting you, does that mean that you're disrespecting yourself? It can mean that, but it can also mean that the person that you are dealing with, you have a dominant assumption about them that they are disrespectful, or you have a dominant assumption about yourself that you are always disrespected by people. So it is to do with, you know, other people reflecting our thoughts, but we need to remember that it's the thoughts that we have, the dominant thoughts that we have about ourselves, others, and also just the world in general. So I hope that that answers your question. Okay, so the next question this is in relation to question number 3 from my episode 1 Q&A. So go and watch that one if you haven't. I will link it in the top up here, and I'll also link it in the description box. So it says, I have a question about your answer to number 3. I was always told that we have to believe that we are already in a relationship with our specific person. So if we believe that we are in a relationship with our SP and then we date other people, isn't that cheating? Now, this is a very good question, and I do understand why some people may believe that. However, we also need to understand the fact that, you know, as much as we can think certain things in our 4D, we also need to remember that our 3D is what we are currently living in now, and it is the 4D thoughts that will create the future within your 3D. If you do believe that by you going on dates with other people, you are essentially cheating on your SP, then that is your dominant assumption. Therefore, to you, that is what will be true. However, for me personally, I don't believe that. Therefore, in my reality, that just wouldn't be true because it's not my dominant assumption. So it's always to do with what you dominantly believe. That's why when people say, you know, not to worry about what's going on in other people's reality. That is literally because it's not your reality. You are the only you in your reality. Therefore, only you can decide what the dominant assumptions are in your life. Okay, so moving on to the next question. It says, thank you so much. I absolutely loved your video. Thank you. Great tips and information. If you have children, no family support, how do you get your SP back? It's been 9 months. I feel like I wasted this time. I've done affirmations, sleep tapes. Nothing is working. I have been so positive. I don't know what to do next. Okay, so just based on your comment, and the fact that, you know, you said, I feel like this is a waste of time. For me, that's proving to me that you feel like it's a waste of time. Therefore, in your reality, you will feel like that. And the thing is, when it comes to manifestation, and I bang on about this to anyone that will basically listen, my friends, my family, everything, it is all about persistence. It is all about persevering through and persisting, even when everything in front of you is showing you that things aren't working. You don't know what is going on in the background of your life that could be bringing your manifestation one step closer to you. You don't know. And also, another way that you can look at it, I know you're saying it's been 9 months, I feel like I've wasted this time. How do you not know that it's going to be the 10th month that your SP comes back to you, or that you know, get your desire, or the 11th month, or the 12th month? It is all about persistence. And I don't want you to feel like you've wasted time, because I would hope that during that time you've learned a lot more about yourself, especially if you've been doing affirmations and sleep tapes and all of that stuff. And I would hope that you are also working on your self-concept. Therefore, those 9 months, they're not wasted months, because you've been working on yourself and you've been learning about yourself. And that is the key to any and everything in life. I want you to learn more about yourself, learn more about why you behave the way that you do, learn more about the things that you accept and do not accept in life, and just have a better understanding of who you are as a person. So I would hope that those 9 months aren't wasted. But yes, I can understand why you do feel like, you know, I've been working so hard and it's not working and blah, blah, blah. But the thing is, if you are still dominantly believing that it's not going to work, then unfortunately it's not going to work. Basically, I need you to get back on it, okay? I need you to focus on your self-concept, and I need you to also almost like not forget about your SP, but just take them off this pedestal that you have them on. Because I feel like based off of your question, it almost seems like you are hoping by having them back in your life that you are going to have some sort of validation, especially the fact that you pointed out that you have children and you don't have family support. So if you are looking at your SP as someone that is going to give you that support, I need you to give that support to yourself first. That is the way that you need to do it. So to answer your question, I would say, if you have been working on yourself, working on your self-concept and learning more about yourself, those 9 months definitely aren't wasted months. And I would say that you just need to continue to persist. You need to take your SP off of that pedestal, put yourself up on that pedestal, and remind yourself just how amazing you actually are, and make sure that you are putting in that self-concept work for yourself. I don't want you to just be doing all of this just solely so that your SP can come back in. I want you to actually do this because you want to feel better as a person, and you have understood that the reason why things didn't work out for you before was because of your dominant thoughts. So now that you are aware of those thoughts, you are the one that can change it. You are the one that can change your reality. So if you are not working on yourself, that is what I need you to do. Okay, so I don't think that there's any more questions. But thank you to everyone that commented on that video. That is so sweet. I thought that I would end this video by basically telling you guys how I manifested my new car. Now, it was really, really weird because I basically just said to myself, do you know what? I think I want a new car. But I wasn't sure what car I wanted. I wasn't sure of anything. And so I just decided to just have a look on the internet and just scroll through and see if there was any cars that kind of like tickled my fancy and caught my eye. So that's basically what happened. There was a car that caught my eye, but it was not within the budget that I wanted. So I just kept on looking at it, kept on, you know, like visualizing myself within that car, kept on going back to the same website over and over again for like maybe like 2 weeks or something like that. And I guess that like imprinted within within my mind basically, because I then started to see the car, and I had never seen this car driven around ever, because obviously, as they say, when you're focusing on something, when it is in your, as Neville Goddard says, your mind's eye, when you are visualizing about something, you will start to see it a lot more in your reality. So I started to see this car everywhere, and I was like, oh my gosh, literally never seen this car being driven by anyone before, because I wasn't paying attention to it, but now I was. So as I said, I kept on looking, and I decided to go onto another website to see whether they had the car anywhere. So I had a look, and lo and behold, the car was there, and it was within my budget. So I was like, oh my gosh, right, I want to go and view this car. And this is how I know that everything happens. Everything just happens for a reason, because whenever I buy a new car, especially if it's a second-hand car, I always like to ask my dad to come with me to check the car, because he knows a lot about cars. I don't know anything about cars. So I sent the link to my dad, and I said to him, what do you think about this car just from looking at it? And basically my dad ignored my message for like 2 days. So I rang him and I was like, hi, I messaged you, you didn't get back to me, what do you think of the car? And he was like, oh, sorry, let me have a look at it now. So he had a look, and he was like, yeah, from what I can see, it looks pretty decent. Do you want to go and view it? And then I was like, yeah, let me give them a call now. So I rang the company, and this was on a Thursday, and I asked if I could come and see the car on the Saturday. So the guy was like, yeah, that's fine. What time would you like to come in? And I just thought, well, not too early, but also not too late, because, you know, I would need like my dad to like come here, and we would need to drive there. So I said to him, okay, I'll come for 10 a.m. So he was like, that's fine, I'll see you on Saturday. So I have arrived now, and it's 10 o'clock. I go in, hi, I've come to view a car. I've got an appointment, my name's Patrice. I had a look, and there was a few just like minor things wrong with it. So I was pointing it out to the car salesman. My dad was having a look, everything. And the guy was like, yeah, you know, if we sell the car to you, then we'll get all of that stuff fixed. It's within the price, you wouldn't have to pay any extra. So I was like, okay, cool, lovely. So then we went inside, and my dad was like, okay, what are you saying? Do you want this car? And I was like, yeah, I think this is the car for me. I can imagine myself driving this car. So I've told the guy now. He's like, sweet, let me get the paperwork. We'll get everything all sorted out. I decided to part exchange my old car to, you know, fund the majority of the payment. And the guy said to me, I'm gonna go and bring your car around to the people that work in like the garage section, so that they can have a look at your car, and then obviously they will give you a value as to what we can give you for this car. And I remember I had looked online to see how much I would get for part exchange. And so in my mind, I was like, this is the amount that I have set. But then my dad was like, but you also need to remember, you've got a few scratches. I also had a dent from where a crazy drunk man kicked my car randomly one day. Don't ask. Anyways, I also had a dent in the car. So I was thinking, oh my gosh, they're gonna give me less than what I think. And my dad was like, yeah, I reckon they'll probably give you $1,000 less than what you think you're gonna get. Then I thought to myself, No, I'm not. I'm going to get the exact amount that I want for my car. And I imagined him coming back to me and telling me the exact amount. And he came back 15 minutes later and he said, I managed to pull a few strings and they are going to give you this amount. And it was the amount that I had said. So obviously I'm super excited and I'm like, yes, like I know that that was me. I know that it was my manifesting power that basically got me that. So I was super, super excited. Now, it was at this point that a lady came to come and view the exact same car. And obviously I have now already said I am purchasing the car. So she came in wanting to view the car and the guy was like, I'm really sorry, someone came in before you and they have now decided to take the car. That's how I know everything happens for a reason. The car was destined to be mine. It was my car. I had already decided that it was my car. So another person also came in as I was doing all of the paperwork, signing everything, that also wanted to have a look at the car, but unfortunately the car was now mine. I've signed the paperwork, blah, blah, blah. They, a few days later, dropped me the car. They've dropped me the car now, and I noticed that the AC wasn't working properly. And I was just like, oh, for goodness sake, like, why did this have to happen? You know, when you think to yourself, everything was going so smoothly, why is there now this like bump in the road? Why did this have to happen? And I found myself getting really, really annoyed, and rightly so, because, you know, I just expected everything to just be working. I didn't expect the AC to not be working. So then I've just basically just said to myself, no, it's fine. This is all gonna get worked out. I'm not gonna have to pay any more money, all of that good stuff. So I've rang the guy, I've explained everything to him, and he's basically said, okay, cool. We will come and pick up the car. We will give you a car that you can drive in the meantime, and we will get all of this sorted. In the end, it all ended up getting sorted, and they've now dropped me back the car. So I have gone to now tax the vehicle, and I've realized, oh my gosh, I don't have so in the UK, you need like a green slip that shows that you are now the new registered keeper, and it has like some like digits on it that you can use to now tax the car. So I realized, oh my gosh, I don't have that. So I've called him back now, and I'm like, what's going on? Like, I need to drive the car, and I can't drive it because it's not taxed. I was going back and forth with this company for about 4 or 5 days. No, it was 4 days. And then it got to the Thursday and I said to myself, no, enough is enough. This is all going to get sorted by tomorrow. And I just genuinely believed it. Like, I'd had enough. I noticed that I was getting frustrated. I noticed that I wasn't trusting the process. And then I started essentially thinking all of these negative thoughts, like, oh, why did this have to happen to me? You know, I'm gonna have to give back the car. It's always one thing after another. And I realized that I was starting to spiral. And I had to say to myself, no, you need to stop with these negative thoughts. It is going to get sorted. You just have to trust and believe that it is going to get sorted. So it had now reached the 5th day. I had been waiting for them to give me callbacks. I'd had to keep on calling them. Yeah, sure, we'll get it sorted, blah, blah, blah. It was an absolute, it was just ridiculous. Like, I was very disappointed in their customer service, put it that way. I'm getting frustrated, and then I just decided, no, this car is mine. Everything is going to get sorted. I'm not going to have any issues. They are going to come to me tomorrow with all of the information and everything that I need. And in the end, that is exactly what happened. And guys, this is why I do always mention about persisting, because I could have easily continued to spiral, continued to have all of these negative thoughts and all of this negative energy being pushed out, that things could have actually gone bad for me. Things could have actually got worse. But because I decided, no, this is my car, this is going to work out, I am going to have X, Y, and Z sorted by tomorrow, I just decided that is what was going to happen. And that is exactly what happened, because I didn't allow my thoughts to spiral out of control. So in the end, like I said, everything was all sorted out. But I just wanted to bring that story to you guys, because I think sometimes, you know, when you talk about like manifestations, success stories and all of that stuff, you can feel like it's just this like linear, you know, story where there's no ups and downs, and you know, you just went from point A to point B and that was it. But the truth of the matter is, a lot of the time when it comes to manifesting your desires, or just manifestation just in general, there are a lot of ups and downs, and that is why persisting is so important, and not letting your head, you know, not letting your brain get scrambled, and not allowing your thoughts to basically spiral out of control in a negative way. So I genuinely do believe that it was because I just decided to focus on the outcome rather than focusing on all of the problems that helped me to manifest the outcome that I basically wanted. I will be coming to you guys with some more success stories about things that I have manifested, so definitely make sure that you look out for that. And like I said, if you do have any questions regarding all things manifestation or just general life questions, I do love to give advice. Please be sure to leave a comment in the comment section, and I will definitely answer your questions in the next video. But guys, thank you for tuning in. Thank you for everyone that sent in your questions, and guys, I will catch you in the next video. Take care. Bye.